Hello and welcome to Martin Maths. We're continuing our higher GCSE exam preparation and we're going to do question 6 here. We've got to fill in a table and then draw a graph from that. Now they've given us 2 points. That should help us to fill in the graph. But now we're going to substitute. So we're going to have to use algebraic technique of substitution. 2 into that. So it's going to be 2 squared minus 3 times 2 plus 1. That's 4. Minus 6 plus 1, so 4 minus 6 is minus 2 plus 1 is minus 1. So it looks like we're going to get our graph looking like that. That looks like that's going to be the axis of symmetry. Plug in 3. We're going to have 3 squared minus 3 times 3 plus 1. So that's 9 minus 9 plus 1. That's going to be 1 there, that reflecting there. So that continues the idea that that's going to be where the curve bends. And then 4 squared, let's do that down here. 4 squared minus 3 times 4 plus 1, that's going to be 16 minus 12 plus 1. That's 4 plus 1, that should be 5. Now, I always like to do the positive side first, or 0, but they did 0 for us. Then I try the negatives, because I think people often struggle with negatives. And similarly, I'd like to leave that till last because I want to make sure I get all those right. Minus 1 squared minus 3 times minus 1 plus 1. So now minus 1 squared is 1. The negatives here are going to cancel each other out. So it's going to be plus 3 plus 1. And we get 5 again. So we're getting a nice reflection, some symmetry there. So that's 2 marks. That should all be clear using that technique of substitution. Now we're going to plot that. So it says draw the graph of y equal to x squared minus 3x plus 1. So we're plotting. I'll take the first 2 values that they gave for us, in case we made some other mistakes, and plot those first. So at 0, I'm going to get 1. And at 1, I'm going to get minus 1. At 1, I get minus 1. So I know those 2 are correct. Now plot the values that I've calculated. 2 is minus 1. 3 is 1. You have that symmetry there. 4 was 5. We should know what a quadratic looks like. It's either going to be like that or like that. This is a positive quadratic. And then minus 1 was 5 as well. Okay, so now with a pencil, but a light curve somewhere around there, going through all those points and going upwards upon either side. And that looks roughly right. We should get those 2 marks. We've plotted correctly a smooth hand-drawn curve, not a straight line. And that should give us those 2 marks. And now for the final 2 marks, we're going to use our graph and find estimates. So we're not going to calculate where that equals 0. We're just going to estimate where that graph cuts the x-axis. So I would say about there and about there. So maybe, if I'd drawn that a bit more accurately, maybe 2.6 and maybe 0.8. And this should give us some grace either side of that by maybe a decimal place or so. Okay, and obviously you could, if you had a calculator and calculator paper, you'd work those accurately, but this is a non-calculator paper, so we're just estimating. So there we go, that's 6 marks. We've done it in much less than 6 minutes. So do pause the video if you need to at each stage to make sure that you understand. But 3 different things we're doing: substitution, plotting, and then estimating, but they're all linked to one graph. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and good luck for your exams.